Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Munchlaxster, and this is my Week 2 game for the Pokemon Champions League, otherwise known as the PCL. This week I'm going up against King Bub and his Munchlaxster United, I believe. So last week I played Aster. If you don't want to get spoiled and want to check that out, I'll give you guys a second to do that. I might link it down below if I'm not lazy. But I did lose that game a little unfortunately. Well, not like because of hacks, it's just, you know, sucks, I lost. But he played well, and I didn't play or prep amazingly, but you know, we got another week here, another chance to come back here. So if you guys watch either week 1 or the draft analysis or both, you'll know that this league, it's not just based off standings, it's like this point system that we have. So I didn't get any points for my game last week because I lost in a 3-0 or more. I lost a 4-0. So this week I'm hoping to hopefully get some points back and at least get a win and hopefully get at least a 3-0. So playing Bub, he's got a very scary team and he's 6-0'd Razor week 1. I believe it's because Razor forfeited though, like halfway through the game, or not half, but like the game was almost done, but he forfeited when he had like 2 mons left. But Bub still had all 6 of his mons, so Bub gets a 6-0 there. So Bub's looking mighty strong after that first week, but hopefully I can knock him off of his throne up there and, you know, hopefully bring him down to a sort of even level as us. But yeah, so this week I'm bringing the Thundurus, Steelix, Mega Gardevoir, Delmice, Greninja, and Entei, as he brings mainly what I expect. He brings Mega Diancie, Jolteon, Tangrowth, Vaporeon, Mew, and Diggersby. Only thing I expected instead of that, I think I expected Mandibuzz instead of like Jolteon. I think like I made a list of 6 that I expected, and Mandibuzz was there instead of, I think it's Mandibuzz instead of Jolteon. But either way, that's what he brought. So I'll just briefly go over my sets, I guess. Entei was, I think I had Natural Gift Electric for Vaporeon and Mandibuzz as well. Then just like E-Speed, Sacred Fire, and I think I had like Facade in the last slot or something in case if he had a Clefkey, yeah. So in case if Clefkey paralyzed me. Then Greninja was just Focus Sash Lead with Toxic Spikes. Then I think U-Turn, Dark Pulse, and maybe Ice Beam, I think. Something like that. Then Delmice was like Colbur with, I think, 3 attacks and Toxic. Then Mega Gardevoir was, I think this was Calm. Yeah, this was Calm Mind with Sub, Hyper, and Pain Split. Yeah, and Steelix was, I think, like 3 attacks and Stealth Rocks with the Shuka Berry, and Thundurus was Scarfed with like U-Turn and like 3 special attacks. So yeah, just gonna lead with my Greninja because it's my it's really what it's supposed to be my lead. You know, when I built this team, because I got Sash on it and I got T-Spikes, which look very nice versus team, especially without him having the Mega Evolution on his Diancie there, so he can't Magic Bounce him away yet. So he actually outsped me turn 1 with his Vaporeon, and he did a lot. So that shows that he's Scarfed, which is pretty cool. I believe from that roll, I'm not running the calc now, so I forget, but I believe that roll. Yeah, I think the roll showed he either got a high timid or like a medium modest, but I believe after doing some math, he has to be timid to outspeed my Ninja. So I know he's timid, so that's cool. But I switched into Thundurus just because I know he's locked into Cyclone Beam, and Thundurus can take that pretty well as it does resist. So here I just click U-Turn, knowing that you're not going to want to stay in, and even if you do, you're going to be clicking Cyclone Beam, so that's fine. But I'm very glad I have Scarf Thundurus, so I can SP just Scarf Vaporeon, or even Scarf Diggersby if that's a thing too. So he goes into Jolteon, so I get some chip on that and get some poison on it too, find out he's lefties. Looks like he's kind of bulky though, just from that damage. So I go into Steelix, find this has a great chance to get my rocks, especially his Diancie's not Mega'd yet. So he brings in Tangrowth as I expect, as I think I go into Entei here. No, I go into Gardevoir. So he goes for the seed there. I guess it was just scouting. He could have had like Earthquake or something, maybe Rock Slide hit Entei. So just scouting, didn't want to go in Entei just yet. So even though Gardevoir does have the seed on him, he still, or her, can still do some work here and still be valuable. So he goes into Mew. Looks like a pretty fat Mew, but I believe I can set up on this. And he's probably going to click Soft Boil to Roost here. But it looks like it's just max Spidef, so I should outspeed this, as I do. But I do with the Pain Split, so I'm not super worried, because even if he's high and I'm low, I can Pain Split and kind of switch the tables there. I probably could have Calm Minded again there. He Shadow Balls, which does not do a whole lot. I believe, I'm not sure how much special attack he had. If he had none, I think that was like he needed like a max roll to break it, but not sub if I went for it. I think I sub eventually, maybe. I don't know if I should sub, but I don't play this like perfectly. I could have play this a little better. My thought process was +1 I2KO, so that was my thought process. But like, he still had the leech seed and the lefty, so I kind of helped him. But he did the poison, so poison kind of cancels out leech seed, I think. But he's lefty still, so I end up knocking him out. But my Gardevoir was really weakened. But I find, you know, I'm alright with that situation because I don't really need Gardevoir for anything else, especially because he did not bring Mandibuzz. So I'm right with that exchange. So here I'm just going to stay in with Guard because I don't have a great switch in. It probably just going to click U-turn. So I don't want you to pivot and then bring in something else to scare out whatever I bring in. So I'm just going to stay in with Guard. Maybe you're not Scarfed. You probably either are Scarfed or click Quick Attack. But yeah, okay, so you are Scarfed. We find that out. So we get confirmation on that, which is nice to know. He brings in Vape. I think I bring in Delmice here. Yeah, just because I didn't want to bring in Thundurus, just because it's a tough play. Because I don't want to make the wrong play, because I could try to pivot, but if he stays in and clicks Ice Beam, or clicks, well, I guess anything, because I'd have to bring in something that does not really want to take a hit from Vaporeon, then that's bad. But I don't want to click T-Bolt as he switches into Diggersby or Jolteon or even Tangrowth, so it was a tough play. That's why I didn't want to bring in Thundy and force that 50-50 if I felt like I didn't have to. But I bring in Delmice to threaten that thing out, so he doesn't even try to go for Ice Beam. He just switches out. I miss Power Up, but I'd rather miss that Power Up where it doesn't really matter a whole lot than later where it could really matter. So I guess that's alright. It would have been nice just to scout his set. The way he switched it in and the way it makes sense versus my team's probably physically defensive. And I think later we find out. I think later that we do find out it is. So he goes for Toxic as I go into Entei. He misses, which is a little unfortunate. Not the worst thing in the world. It would have been kind of bad. You'll see a little bit later why that would have been pretty bad. But I just go for Sacred Fire because I know even though you're probably switching into Vape, a Sacred Fire plus E-Speed will knock him out after the rocks and the poison. So that's awesome. So he finds out I'm not banded. I mean, he knew that from the damage, but that's fine. So he goes into Diancie here, which makes sense. As I think I go into Delmice. Yeah, I do. Expecting the Earth Power because the switch into Steelix makes a lot of sense. Even then, it still makes a lot of sense for him to go for that play against Entei. Now the scary thing for him is he does not knock me out with the Earth Power, and if I have the Iron Head, I could knock him out. But that's still probably his best play just because Steelix was such a safe switch in. Even with my Sugar though, I will get 2 KO'd, so that's why I did switch into Delmice, anticipating that Earth Power, and that worked out perfectly. So here again to scare him out with Power Up, I think I click Earthquake just because that kills Diancie, and it does, well, no, I guess it does less to this, but it makes sense versus like everything on your team. And I don't know, I just figured I don't want to try to miss a Power Whip, so that was my thought process there. I go into Ninja as he clicks Leech Seed. I think that was in case if you click Knockoff, because I live that. All we've seen so far was Toxic and Leech Seed. Now we see Protect, so this is a solid Tangrowth here. Not sure what your item was. I don't think we ever saw it. It's not AB, of course. You don't have lefties. I don't know what it was. I don't think it's Helmet. No, it wasn't Helmet. Or I don't think. Did I ever touch it? Maybe not. I don't know. But, so he ends up just killing my Ninja there with the Leech Seed because he's Protect, which is a cool strat. So that's why him missing the Toxic earlier kind of hurt me. Or, hurt him. It was good for me. Because then he could have gotten 2 turns of Poison on me and then switched into Vape and sacked that off. And then the Poison would have really racked up on my Entei and really got that thing chipped down. So that was a little unfortunate. It didn't matter, like, too much in the long run, but it definitely did not help him. So, that play versus Tangrowth. So, I really thought about that one for a while, and I think he did too. This is a long turn. So, I looked at some calcs, and I believe a Sacred Fire plus E-Speed after Rocks and Poison has a chance to kill this Diancie here, but it's not in my favor, so I didn't want to go for that. It was a tough play, but I think I ended up going for Natural Gift because, Natural Gift Electric, because then that puts him in range of E-Speed. Crit didn't matter because he dies to E-Speed next turn anyway, so not a big deal. Then like he would have just stayed and sacked it off most likely. So I did go for E-Speed here just to get off some chip versus Diggersby. I thought about switching into maybe Delmice, maybe Steelix. Probably Delmice, yeah, because Earthquake. I thought about it. He ends up just, clicking that. Yeah, he ends up just trying to pivot. Yeah, that's what he did. Because he thought I'd switch into Delmice. I thought about switching into Delmice, as I said, but I thought, you know, I don't need Entei, and I'm fine with just sacking off to get damage on this, because this helps my Thundurus clean up late game with Scarfed Sludge Bomb. So, I was fine with making that play. Also, I thought, you know, he could try to pivot and might not even hit my Entei super hard. So I thought, you know what, it's worth it. It's fine just to click E-Speed, get off some damage on that. In hindsight, or no, yeah, okay, that was my best play. Here's where I make a bit of a mistake. here, I think I clicked Sacred Fire just because I know it can live any one hit. I should have clicked E-Speed just because then you're in range of Thunderous, but like, whatever. It didn't matter too much because, yeah, so you go into Tangrowth as you take the Sacred Fire with that. If I clicked E-Speed, then you would have taken the damage with Jolteon. You would have lived it, but you've been a lot weaker. And then Tangrowth would have been able to switch in for free. Or not free. It would have still came in, I guess. But yeah, because no, yeah, you wouldn't have brought in Diggersby because that dies to another E-Speed. So you'd have had to bring in Tangrowth. Because if I just E-Speeded there, then my Entei just kind of wins at that point. But it's alright. So I clicked for Cider just to show off my last move. Oh yeah, he was Helmet. Okay. So yeah, he was physically defensive. He could have lived to Sacred Fire. Like if he got to switch in his Tangrowth for free, he would have gotten to live a Sacred Fire and I guess Toxic and then Protect. And, yeah, my Entei a little weaker, and then I might have died eventually. But it's alright, not a big deal. I just E-Speed. Okay, no, Diggersby would have lived it, so Entei wouldn't have just won. But then that's fine though, because I can bring in. He dies to poisons, and I just bring in like Steelix or whatever and get a kill. Yeah, just bring in Steelix. I can live any hit. Nice Earthquake, knock him out. So we're going to be able to take that home in a 3-0. So that means we get 3 points this week, which is the maximum we can get in 1 week. So sort of like the same as getting a 6-0, but we got a 3-0. I mean, the differential still matters. So right now I'm 1-1 -1. So my diff isn't great, but I had 3 points, which is, I guess, on average. I guess, because, yeah, like, I guess on average you get 1.5 per week. I mean, you can't do that. You can't get 1.5 in a single week, but like on average you would. So by that rate, I'm doing okay. I'm fighting my way back into the playoff race. There are 12 teams in the league, and the top 5 make the playoffs. It's really weird how the playoffs work because the top seed gets a bye in the first and second round, so it just moves on to the championship automatically, which I didn't totally like, but I didn't have much of a say in, so it's whatever. And then like the 2 plays the 5, and the 3 plays the 4, and then those 2 winners play each other, and the winner plays the 1 in the championship. But playoffs are a long ways away. We have 8 more weeks because we have a 10-week regular season, so we still have time. So we're 1-1 now. We're fighting our way back. Looking alright. This was a good game though. So GG to Bub. Bub's a really nice guy. He's just an awesome dude. So definitely check him out. But yeah, glad I was able to pick up a win. Get myself back in the race, back in it, feeling good. Entei was such a big threat. I really like my set because his only switch in was the Vaporeon, which I was able to lure in, and I had the natural gift Electric, which I didn't have to use it versus Vape, but still it was nice to have. And it was really good versus team because outside of Vape, he really did not have much to switch into Entei at all. Maybe like a defensive Mew, but still I would have outsped you then. And but yeah, I really liked Entei. I really liked the T-Spikes. Having a second layer of T-Spikes could help me for Tangrowth, but I still like having the consistent 12% instead of the 6 and then 12 and that 18 and more. Just because he didn't bring like the super fat Stolly team. Like he could have brought like a bulky Vape. Well, Mew was bulky, Tangrowth was too, and he could have brought other fat stuff like Mandibuzz and I think he had something else fat on his roster. I forget, but the Toxic Spikes worked out. So shout out to Ninja, my boy. But yeah, anyways, GG to Bub. So I'll see you guys next week when we're playing Togevor, so that cool guy. So I'm going to be playing the Salty Vegan, and I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.